here with Neige, the mastermind of ALCEST here in Dresden, at Beatpole for the ALCEST and Mono tour. Welcome to Germany.
Thank you. We are very happy to be here. We really like to play in Germany. It's always great conditions, great audience, and yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you for your time. My first question is, Kodama is available for about 4 weeks now. How do you feel with it, and what feedback did you get by now?
We've had some really good feedbacks from our fans. Actually, you know, our previous record was more mellow, and so yeah, this one was more like come back to our old sound. So I think a lot of our fans were really pleased with that, you know, and yeah, overall the reactions are really good. Yeah, we are just starting the promo now by touring, and we hope that that a lot of new people will discover us also with this album.
Yeah. This leads us to my next question. I also think Kodama sounds more related to this Kai de Lune album than to Shelter. Your harsh screams are back, and the blast beats are also back behind the drums. And for me, the connection of these, let's say, more or less aggressive and rough parts, and these minimalistic and deep parts make it feel very intense for me.
Yeah.
And what is the reason for this transition, or for going, let's say, back to the roots, or did it just happen somehow?
It's actually it's not like a complete back to the roots record, because I think it really has a unique sound. You know, it doesn't sound like Kai de Lune. It's maybe the formula is a bit similar, but I think we've worked a lot on the production and on the guitar sounds. You know, in the past, for example, on Kai de Lune, it was pretty much only like clean sound or distortion sound. You know? And now it goes from like very big spectrums of sounds with the guitar, because the guitar is the star. You know, in ALCEST, it's not vocals, or it's the main instrument. So we really have to find a way to make it sound always interesting, and try to explore the possibilities of the instrument as much as we can. You know, not only clean distortion. You know, that's boring. You know? And I think that's how we evolved a lot with this record, and the vibe is different too. For example, Kai de Lune was very aquatic. You know, it has this watery feeling. Yeah. And Kodama is a bit more. It's different. It's a different picture, and I think the fact that we did Shelter also. I mean, Kodama wouldn't have even existed without Shelter. You know, it's a kind of a reaction to Shelter, and it has some elements from Shelter to the more like indie rock, you know, approach, and yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. For you, what is the most special feature of Kodama in comparison to the other albums?
Yeah, I would say that you know, we are doing this sound since many years now, and I feel that on Kodama we really found a really nice balance, you know, in between all our elements, the quiet moments, the heavy moments, and I've worked a lot on every single riff of this album, because, you know, when I compose like shitloads of riffs, and I only keep maybe 20 or no, it's very selective, and it's not like, oh yeah, oh, this riff is nice, oh yeah, I will keep it. No, it's like 95% I just throw it away, you know. So yeah, very selective, and that's why the album is. That's why our records are quite short too. You know, it's only like 42 minutes. It's because it's a concentrate of what we can do best, you know, and And yeah, this record also is probably, if not the darkest, the angriest. It's quite angry, you know. It's not dark or depressing, but it has a lot of energy. You know, it's powerful. It's driving, and it's also a reaction to the sound of Shelter that was very mellow and very light. You know, it's like pretty much focused on the guitars. You know, Shelter, and on Kodama we wanted the drums to be high in the mix, and we worked a lot on the drums too, which is not something usual for us. I mean, we work on the drums, but this time we really tried to find a lot of really cool drum patterns, you know. So yeah, there are a lot of. It's funny because people. I've also read some people saying, yeah, well, they are just back to the same old formula, but I think it's very fresh, you know. The way we sound on this album, we've got a lot of influences from, like, for example, grunge bands, you know, like Dinosaur Jr. or Nirvana, you know, for the sound, not for the riff, but for the production. Very rough, very direct, you know.
Yeah. I also think the drums are very special on this album because there are damn much interesting fills. I think. Especially the fills is very, very interesting, I think.
We really wanted to make a special effort on the drums, and the way we recorded them was very, very special too. We asked our sound engineer to bring his tape recorder, because we recorded the drums on tape actually, to our rehearsal space, which is the attic of a very big mansion, which belongs to Winterhalter's family. And it's like this huge room with like a wooden roof, you know. And it has a huge river, like, you know. And what you hear on the record is just this sound. It has been not compressed, no effects, there is not a single % of artificial reverb. It's only the room. Yeah. So that's really cool. Yeah. So that's what we really wanted to capture. You know, the very raw sound of the drums in this room.
When the first track of the album Oiseau de Proie was published on YouTube, I had to think of Princess Mononoke, even if I didn't know there was there is this connection between Miyazaki's masterpiece and this track.
That's cool.
What did the movie do with you, and in which way did it inspire you for this current album, ALCEST?
Yeah, it's I'm getting this question, of course, because, you know, the album has been it's not a concept album about Princess Mononoke. It's just I had a kind of I had like a trigger, you know, with this movie. It inspired me to start a new thing with this record, based on what I felt by watching the movie. And I don't know, I think it's a movie that fits really well in our time. You know, it's this confrontation between the human world and the world of nature that is very ancient, full of old spirits and old ways, you know, as opposed to the new world and the technology and everything. And I think, you know, nowadays we are really disconnected with nature and things like that. Especially in big cities, you know, it's like we have completely lost the connection, you know, and I love also the fact that Miyazaki, he never really says, oh, these are the bad guys, these are the good guys. It's always really like he can find like good things in both sides, and I love this very wise and tolerant look upon things, you know. I think he's a genius, and he's for me one of the greatest artists of our time, you know. I also love the character, the female character, Sen, I think she's called. I've always been very fascinated by this type of strong female characters, you know. It's very inspiring, and the fact that she's fighting against humans, and she has been raised in the forest by the animal gods, but she is human herself. So it's like a very interesting contrast. And for me, I can relate to that because I've always felt a bit not in the right place,
Okay.
And I really feel a connection with this type of characters, and also the fact that I am living in the city, but I'm always missing nature, and it's always in between two worlds, and this record is also full of contrast, So it's like many things actually.
Okay, yeah.
And the Japanese thing, of course, because I'm a fan of Japan since I'm a kid, and I wanted to go there since I'm a kid, and when we went there with ALCEST 2 times, when I came back I was so full of inspiration and so happy, and I had to make something from this,
Okay, yeah. I see. Yeah. Let's have a closer look at this inspirational aspect. Your music is also very, very spiritual and inspiring for, I think, many people. For me, it is. And what inspires you in general? And in relation to that, how do you write songs then? And is there a process or?
Yeah, not really. I guess you know more or less the story of ALCEST. I started this band as a way to express a spiritual experience I had when I was a kid. It was a very, very strong experience that left a big impression on me, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I decided when I was a teenager. I was starting to play black metal when I was a teenager, and instead of just doing like a copy of another band, I thought that it would be interesting to express this experience into music, and that's how ALCEST started with the first EP, and then the first record, the Souvenir record. That is for me the most personal ALCEST record because it's actually only about this experience. And yeah, then the project evolved, and all the records are more or less turning around this concept. The fact that I feel that I belong to somewhere else, and it's not easy to live in between these two worlds all the time, to be like here but always like longing for something else, And I think you don't necessarily need to have the experience I've got when I was a child to feel that. I think a lot of people are looking for something that are not satisfied with reality as it is, and because the world is very harsh,
Yes.
And so I think the ALCEST sound comes from the most personal thing I have inside me. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. It's something that is it comes from some otherworldly side of me. I don't want to sound crazy or anything, but
no, you don't.
I think a lot of people have something else than just being like regular human beings, or I think some souls are very old, I don't necessarily say that I am an old soul. I have no idea, but I think some people are, and it can end up by you can have a lot of things to say when it comes to make art,
Yeah, that's
and,
for sure.
and don't necessarily know why you do this, but it just comes out, And I am a quite down to earth guy, in real life. I'm not like, doing any like rituals or anything. It's just when I sit down to play guitar, that's what comes out. It's a bit cliche, but it's true.
Okay, fine. What does ALCEST and your music mean to you in your everyday life?
Well, that's the source of all my problems and all my joys. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them. It's it's a kind of a quest, in a way, because I think I'm looking for answers with this project, but inside me I know that I will never get them, and it doesn't matter, because if I get them I will stop making music. So maybe it's
just hope you won't get any answers.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's the purpose of any artist. You are looking for something, you are looking for answers, or you just have something to express that that is stronger than you, actually, and you cannot always control it. Or sometimes this band is so stressful, so that I think about quitting for some time, but actually I don't know what I would do.
Okay.
But it's a coin with two sides. It has a very positive side when things are doing well. When we do a good tour, or we do a good show, or we know that our record is doing good, or if we feel happy by what we have done. For example, with Kodama we were quite happy. But it's also a lot of stress and a lot of investment, because this band is not only it's not just a band, It's much more. Yeah, it's much more than that, and I think that's also what people like about ALCEST. They can feel that it's not just like some guys playing music together, and drinking beers and talking about oh, my girlfriend left me or something.
Yeah, but that's that.
Even if it's a cool subject, you have so many great songs talking about this, but that's not our case, and it's a spiritual quest almost, and it's very demanding. So yeah, it can be difficult sometimes.
That's right. What is your favorite ALCEST song, and why? Do you have one, or two, or three?
No,
but not more. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, because I've got this question many times. I don't know. I like some songs equally for different reasons. For example, I could say I will name a few, maybe the Le Secret song, the one of the first EP, is the first real ALCEST song I made. It's the starting point of this project, is this song. So of course it's extremely personal. Back then, there were no labels, no tours, nothing. I was just in my hometown, not knowing anyone, just doing this for me. And it's really about this otherworldly place, and I spoke to you about. It's more or less the description of this place, and that's why this song is not necessarily the most accomplished song in terms of songwriting or anything, but it has a special place in my heart. This one, the song called Les Iris on the first album. This one, I don't know. I think it might be one of the most ALCEST-like songs, It's really 100%.
Yeah, I think it's one of the strongest too, yeah.
And maybe one from the last record. I'm not a big ALCEST fan, actually, so I don't know. I don't like to listen to our music, but I don't know. Maybe the song Kodama, because it has this really cool alien Japanese weird feeling,
It's minimalistic.
You don't really know what's the genre, or I like this song.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. What other bands or music genres do you like to listen to?
Where's my phone?
Let's check Spotify.
No. I listen to. I know it sounds very cliche, but I listen to almost everything, not everything, but almost. But my favorites, Cocteau Twins, Slow Dive. I've listened to a lot of Emma Rose Randall. She's a very good friend of mine, like really a close friend of mine. So yeah, this girl, she's fantastic. Explosion in the Sky, I'm a big fan. Grimes, I'm a huge fan of Grimes. So she's this electronic pop singer from Canada. It's absolutely not dark or not metal approved, you know. It's like she's a, I don't know, she's a kind of a very weird and nerdy Madonna, you know.
Okay.
So she's into like also into anime Japan, and she has this very weird music, you know. So I'm a huge fan. New Wave also, like Joy Division, The Cure. Big New Wave fan actually, or darker stuff like Bauhaus, you know, or City of Mercy, goth stuff. Oh, I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan.
Oh yeah.
The first records, Same as Dream. It's probably the record I've listened to the most in my life. Yeah. And to finish, Typo Negative maybe, October Rust. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Interesting mixture, I think.
And many other things, you know, like I love also minimalistic composers like Arvo Part, you know, or Philip Glass. Yeah.
Philip Glass, yeah.
It's like very minimalistic stuff. Yeah, things like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think let's end up here. You have the last words. What would you like to tell the world outside there?
I don't know. That I hope they liked the last record. They will come to see us play on tour, and that their support means everything to us. If the people were not so grateful with us, I'm not sure I would have the energy to keep on. You know. It's really, some of our fans are really great. You know, they can speak about ALCEST in a way that I would never think about. You know, it's yeah.
Then thank you very much for your time and having the interview with us.
Thank you guys. And here for that.